Ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I always like to take this opportunity to talk about myself.
The man of the hour.
And let me tell you something, Daddy.
When you're the man, you make history every time you step foot in this ring.
And that's the bottom line of the
Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 105 of the Sweet Wrestling Podcast. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to hop right on into this thing back and better than ever. Wrestlemania prediction special. Not going to be a very long podcast, so you can stick around. I'm not going to hold you for very long. We're going to talk about our WrestleMania 36 predictions. It has been quite the build. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, first, before I get into that, as always, you can find me on linktr.ee/2sweetpod. That's the number 2sweetpod on Twitter as well, at 2sweetpod and at OMG Corey B. Feel free to follow because I follow back all wrestling fans. So, with that being said, man, this has been the strangest timeline of my life for various reasons. But as it pertains to wrestling, man, I have never seen anything like this. This is the strangest WrestleMania, man. WrestleMania is the grandest stage of them all, quote unquote. And we're going to be at the Performance Center, and just time after time, we found ourselves in weird positions. First, okay, it's at the Performance Center. That's a shot. Then it's going to be taped. I taped a WrestleMania in my lifetime. I have never seen it before. And time, just moment after moment after moment, it got so bad to where I'm thinking, okay, look, we might as well just pull a plug on all wrestling, period, for the foreseeable future. But we are here now, and WrestleMania 36 has went down. I'm not going to give any spoilers because I don't know any spoilers. But first, we're going to start the championship matches, the main championship matches, and then we're going to work ourselves down. First up, we have Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. Now, we don't know what matches is going to be on Saturday. We don't know what matches is going to be on Sunday. I cannot stand the phrase of, it's too big for one night. Who came up with that? It reminds me of when Eric Bischoff on the first episode of WCW Nitro was saying that the Mall of America is the only place big enough to hold WCW Nitro. Who thought of that? But that point aside, we got Brock Lesnar, we got Drew McIntyre, and you know what, man? I gotta say, this is gonna be a very good matchup. Because when Brock Lesnar wants to, he can work a good matchup. When he has a good opponent, normally it's a smaller opponent, he can work a really good matchup. But Drew McIntyre is not a smaller opponent, but he is the new age big guy, the guy that can very much move around like a small guy. So I expect this to be a phenomenal matchup. At the end of the day, I loved Paul Heyman's promo last Monday night, building up this matchup. And you know what, man? Drew McIntyre, this is one of the drawbacks of being in an empty arena. I don't want Drew McIntyre's moment to come with nobody there, man. At the end of the day, my prediction is that Drew McIntyre will win the championship. He won the Royal Rumble. I think that this obviously should be the Sunday main event. That's just my opinion on the matter. But Drew McIntyre will pick up the victory here. And man, in an empty arena, that's just so depressing, man. But I'm happy for Drew McIntyre. He should pick up the victory here. Moving on, we got the Universal Championship on the line, and Roman Reigns is no longer in this match. And yet another bombshell, yet another negative thing that has happened. And you know what? I understand it from Roman Reigns' standpoint. I'm not, bashing the guy. You're healthy and your safety comes first. I believe in that. And here's the thing, man. I said this the morning after Roman Reigns pulled out. I said, you know what? Everybody's saying Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt. This match is not going to go to Bray Wyatt. This is going to go to, because I don't think that their plan was to not have the title on Bray Wyatt, so they're not going to go right back to him. This is going to go to someone that is on the mend. Someone that is not all that important as it pertains to the totem pole in WWE. And guess what? Roman Reigns is going to be out for the foreseeable future. Like, this thing isn't going, this coronavirus COVID-19 situation isn't going away anytime soon. So if he is away from WWE programming because he does not want to be around certain things, because reports have come out that people have gotten sick, Roman Reigns is going to be out for a long time, like months. So that on the man person, whoever it may be, that person is about to win the title, because I don't see Goldberg holding the championship for the foreseeable future for months on end. That's just my opinion. So some random guy is about to win the world title at WrestleMania. The craziest timeline. That's just my opinion on it. That's what I think is gonna happen. We shall see. In the comments, when I posted this on Twitter, who should get the shot or whatnot, I had Matt Riddle, I had Braun Strowman, I had plenty of names. We had some fun with it. I mentioned the morning after that, you know what, Braun Strowman being in it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's not intriguing per se, but he needs some type of momentum after just falling to nothing in the last couple of years. We'll see how it turns out, but whomever faces Goldberg will win the championship. That is my opinion. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we have Edge versus Randy Orton in a last man standing match. This has been the most well built up match of the entire card. Excuse me. And I have enjoyed every bit of it. I made a hype video for it. You can check that out on YouTube at OMG Corey B, on Periscope as well at 2SweetPod. And this has been a truly great old school build. Guys hate each other. Edge came back at the Rumble. Randy Orton took him out. Edge wants revenge, and it is a perfect stipulation. Randy Orton got at Beth Phoenix, so Edge wants to destroy him. I think that this is going to be a sneaky great match. We have a fantastic stipulation. The build has been built up as that these guys hate each other, and it is just going to be on display in this match. I cannot wait to see Edge back at a WrestleMania, even though the circumstances are dire. But it is going to be fun to see Edge back once again and hear that music kick off at a WrestleMania. At the end of the day, the result is very obvious here. The face overcomes the heel. Edge comes back. He gets his triumphant victory in his triumphant return to WrestleMania. He gets the win, and you know what? I cannot wait to see how this match turns out, what they pull off. Edge and Randy Orton. It is going to be phenomenal. And speaking of what people may pull off, we move on to John Cena versus Bray Wyatt in a Firefly Funhouse match. This has been a fabulous build as well. I don't like the fact that, the first night John Cena comes back, Bray Wyatt stares him down, the crowd goes crazy, and it's a great moment. But I don't like the fact that, Bray Wyatt is pretty much carrying the feud. I don't like when, the part-timer comes in the first night and then the full-timer has to carry everything. I don't necessarily like that. That's just my opinion. But Bray Wyatt has done a good job nonetheless. At the end of the day, look, man, Bray Wyatt should have been in a championship match at WrestleMania, but it is what it is. I expect this to be it's taped. And they're getting creative in this match. I expect it to be a fabulous matchup. Like, it could be a Matt Hardy situation where you had Final Deletion in TNA. It could be that type of great match. Or it could be a House of Horrors match that Randy Orton, that was horrible, that match that Bray Wyatt had with Randy Orton. My money is betting on the fact that it is going to be fabulous with Bray Wyatt and John Cena in it. I cannot wait to see what they pull off in this tape matchup. At the end of the day, Bray Wyatt gets the victory. I'm interested to see what goes on with Bray Wyatt in the future. But this match should be fun. I cannot wait to see how it turns out. Bray Wyatt wins. Next up, Raw Women's Championship on the line. Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. And man, this feud really peaked the first night when Shayna Baszler came out of nowhere, bit out Becky Lynch's neck, and drew quote unquote blood. And like that was the apex of the build. Like, it has gotten decreasingly non-interesting as we've moved on. Nonetheless, I'm still very interested to see how it turns out. Shayna Baszler choked out Becky Lynch on the Go Home Monday Night Raw episode. Here's the deal, man. Look, I love Becky Lynch, but it is time for Shayna Baszler to pick up the victory here. Shayna Baszler will pick up the victory here. She will be your winner. They got a lot of people that is not drawn to Shayna Baszler. They talk about her personality, but here's the deal with her, man. She is all about beating people up. Like, at the end of the day, Shayna Baszler's personality is that she's gonna go in the ring and beat somebody down. That's it, and that's all I need. So at the end of the day, Shayna Baszler picks up the victory here. What I expect to be a phenomenal match, sneaky candidate for match of the night here, as Shayna Baszler will pick up the victory. And speaking of sneaky candidates for match of the night, next up we have Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship. Look, this has been a really good build. This match, you know what, kind of came out of nowhere. Charlotte Flair wins the Royal Rumble, and everybody's like, oh man, Charlotte wins again, to which I still to this day say that she didn't need to win that Royal Rumble. But she goes after Rhea Ripley, and while the build has been excellent, don't get me wrong, I think the match is going to be phenomenal. Two excellent ladies at what they do. But here's the deal, the stakes is everything to me. And the stakes here is the NXT Women's Championship. Like, I get it from Rhea Ripley's standpoint, but Charlotte Flair, like, what reason does Charlotte Flair have to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, in my opinion. Charlotte Flair is a 10-time women's champion, and she doesn't want to go after the Raw Championship. She doesn't want to go after the SmackDown Championship. She wants to go after the NXT Women's Championship. Now, that's not to degrade the NXT Women's Championship by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's one of the most valuable titles in the company, in WWE or NXT, but Charlotte Flair was on the main roster. It is what it is. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. Nevertheless, this is going to be a tremendous matchup. At the end of the day here, man, there is only one acceptable result. Rhea Ripley wins, and wins clean in the middle of the ring. That is what will happen. And like Charlotte Flair, WWE better not pull it. They better not pull the card, oh, Charlotte Flair wins here. Like, she shouldn't even be winning the match. It's like WrestleMania 32. Charlotte Flair shouldn't have won that triple threat. It should have been Sasha Banks. I forget which other WrestleMania it was, but the WrestleMania winner was Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. She shouldn't have won that, but Charlotte Flair wins the championship. And here we go again, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Charlotte Flair has no business winning this match. They better not do that. Rhea Ripley wins here. I got my faith in Triple H. He better do the right thing. Next up, speaking of the ladies, we got the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. Bayley versus Lacey Evans versus Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha Banks in a 5-way match. Dana Brooke was in this match, but she has been pulled out for an unknown reason. Maybe she's in quarantine. I don't want to speculate about that, but we don't know. We don't know. At the end of the day, man, like, I wish this on a lesser level reminds me of the WrestleMania where it was a McMahon in every corner. Like, it was a 4-way match. Clearly that year it should have been Triple H versus The Rock that year. That was the match that year, and we got a 4-way instead. Here, like, man, clearly the match is either Bayley versus Sasha Banks or Bayley versus Naomi here, and we're getting a 5-way match. Like, it is less intriguing to me. If you give me Bayley versus Sasha Banks, if you give me Bayley versus Naomi at WrestleMania, I am very intrigued. Here, nevertheless, I think the match could be really good. I like the sort of tease tension that we have with Bayley and Sasha Banks. Like, Sasha Banks wants that title. She's Bayley's friend, but you know what? The title comes first, and I think that's gonna play out. You know what? At first, when this match first got announced, I said Naomi needs to win here. Man, as the time has rolled on, I've thought, man, Sasha Banks needs her WrestleMania moment. At the end of the day, she needs to have it, and she needs to win this championship to get back on track. Maybe that kickstarts a feud with Bayley, the feud that we've been waiting on for like 3 or 4 years now in WWE. We'll see, but Sasha Banks picks up the victory here. She wins the championship. Moving on, we got Undertaker versus AJ Styles in a boneyard match. Like, what is that? What is a boneyard match? Like, what, they gonna be playing dominoes? Like, Undertaker be saying, what? I got 25. Like, think long, you think wrong, Alan Jones Styles. Like, I'm sorry if y'all don't get these dominoes references. It is what it is, but what the heck? Like, at the end of the day, here it is, man. Like, have we gotten too PC to where we can't say a buried alive match or a graveyard match or something like that? We can't say that anymore. It is a boneyard match. Like, I think the WWE is at this thing to where they try to modernize everything. And like, just call it a graveyard match, man. We all know what it is. At the end of the day, this has been a fantastic build. Undertaker cut a hell of a promo last Monday night. That was one of the better Undertaker promos that I have seen in years, and I think that this has a chance. Depending on what it's gonna go down, I have no idea where it's gonna be. Is it gonna be in like a quote unquote graveyard? Is it gonna be outside? Is it gonna be like, what is gonna happen here? I don't know. I think that makes the match interesting itself, but here's where I'm disappointed. AJ Styles has been one-upping Undertaker ever since the match has been announced. And I think that, you know what, this is the time where Undertaker gets his one-upmanship back and wins the matchup. Like, the result here needs to be AJ Styles beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania. But I think, like, I have this sneaky suspicion that Undertaker is about to get the win here, and people are gonna be upset with that. Moving on, we got Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, and man, like, this build, I love the heck out of Kevin Owens. I love the heck out of Seth Rollins. But all of these 6-man tags, man, like, we've had 1 million of those over the months just to get to this match at WrestleMania. I've loved the back and forth promos that they've had with each other. I think that this is gonna be a phenomenal matchup. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, 2 of the best workers in the entire business, whether that be WWE or across the entire world. Look, man, I think it's gonna be a phenomenal matchup. The result here is gonna be, like, I don't have a problem if either guy wins here, but Kevin Owens, the face, overcomes the heel here. Kevin Owens picks up the victory. Will the feud move on? I'm not entirely sure. We'll see, but Kevin Owens gets the win here. Moving on to the Intercontinental Championship, we have Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. I cannot wait for this matchup. The build has been so, but at the end of the day, give these guys 30 minutes, man. We got 2 nights here. Give Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan 30 minutes in the ring, and it is going to be a technical classic. I just talked about 2 guys that are some of the best in the world at working, and these guys are 2 of those guys as well. Sami Zayn is the Intercontinental Champion, and this is a sneaky match of the year candidate right here. Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. For me, Sami Zayn just picked up the Intercontinental Championship, so therefore I have him winning this matchup. Sami Zayn gets the win here. I like the build that we have going with Drew Gulak, so I like to see that. You know what? Maybe Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak, maybe that turns into a tag team moving forward. We shall see. But Sami Zayn gets the victory here. Moving on, Raw Tag Team Championships on the line. Street Profits versus Austin Theory and Angel Garza. There's been a lot of moving and shaking about this match. Andrade is out. Austin Theory is in. At the end of the day, this should be a fantastic matchup. We've seen Austin Theory have a good showing on Raw despite missing the catch or whatever happened with Montez Ford when he killed himself, like when he just dove over and just fell apart on the ramp. Whatever happened there, I expect a fantastic matchup here. Street Profits pick up the victory, clean and obvious here. They are not losing the championships to Austin Theory and Angel Garza. Speaking of Tag Team Championships, SmackDown Championships on the line, The Miz and John Morrison versus The New Day versus The Usos. There's a lot of chatter about this matchup. of what took place. Maybe somebody got sick. I'm not entirely sure. But at the end of the day, whatever happened here, I don't know if this is the match. We'll see. It is a ladder match. I expect it. I expect it to be fantastic. It is a match of the night candidate. Whatever happened, whatever iteration of this match that we get, I will go on to assume that it was awesome, just tremendous. And at the end of the day, you know what, man? Miz and John Morrison relatively just won the tag titles, but I think we are gonna see a switch here. And you know what? I am gonna go give it to the Usos to pick up the championship win here in the ladder match, to which I expect it to be phenomenal, awesome. So moving on, we move on to the women's tag team championships, the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Look, man, this build has been, I haven't been very much invested into it. Asuka has been trying to carry it. Kairi Sane, had been out because she had gotten married. You know, I have no problems with that. Congratulations. But as for the match itself, I am going to go with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to pick up the victory. I like them as a tag team. You know what? I say give them the championships. And this is coming from a person who absolutely loves Asuka. So you know what? I want to see Asuka get back into the singles division, to be quite honest. As a singles competitor, she's had some singles matchups. One thing I have a problem with is the women's tag team championships aren't as prominent as once before. So I think that you need to go ahead and put them on a new tag team and make them prominent. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross picks up the victory here. And now we get into the most random match on the card, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Like, they just threw this together, man. Like, what are we doing here? Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley have not had any contact, no build whatsoever, and like, I'm not interested in this match at all. It could be a fabulous matchup for all I know. At the end of the day, Aleister Black picks up the victory here. It is just that simple. Moving on, we got Elias versus King Corbin. And we've had somewhat of a build. King Corbin just knocked out Elias from not a scalpel, but just threw the guy over something, man. A railing, and Elias goes over on the floor. And this matchup, I don't expect it to be a technical classic per se. I'm not all that interested in the matchup, but I think that your winner will be Elias here after getting thrown off, after getting a fatality. He's gonna come back and pick up the victory versus King Corbin. Here, we'll see how it all works out. Last up, we have Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. And this has been a build that I have really enjoyed, man. Like, you know what? They have gotten me all in on this sappy Mandy Rose, Otis, Dolph Ziggler love story. And you know what? It has been a fantastic build. And this is gonna be a fantastic matchup. And they got all the fans behind Otis. And you know what? Otis will pick up the victory here over Dolph Ziggler. Face overcomes once again. And we'll see how it turns out with Mandy Rose. Otis will go on to pick up the victory here, ladies and gentlemen. So that is it for the WrestleMania predictions. We'll see what Rob Gronkowski does as the host. You know what? I don't know how that's gonna go. We'll see in an empty arena, but we'll see how it turns out. That is it for this edition of the Too Sweet Wrestling Podcast. Let me know all of your thoughts on Twitter at Too Sweet Pod or at OMG Corey.